Let me skip this cutscene. So, let me start fresh here for the YouTube version of this. Hello everyone, welcome to the US Gamer live stream. As always, this is a retro live stream on Thursday, and it is a retro live stream because Resident Evil 4 turned 10 years old on Sunday, I believe. So yeah, I don't know how that makes you feel. It makes me feel ancient. Not that way, cowboy. Come on. So Resident Evil 4 is a one of my favorite games, probably in the top 10, maybe top 5 of all time. It's that good. It's that good. And the reason why it's so good is that Shinji Mikami had about 4 tries at, well, Capcom in general, because I don't think Mikami jumped on until the last version of this game, but there are several versions of RE4. They don't exist in Resident Evil form. I'm pretty sure all the ideas filtered down into other games like Devil May Cry, maybe Haunting Ground, who knows. But yeah, it's this game took quite a while to get right, and kill some peasants is what I'm being told by Sleepaway Champ. Well, that's the point of the game, isn't it? Come on. So yeah, it's a really good game, and controls are slightly awkward now that things have changed a bit. But I'm pro bird, but these are evil birds, by the way. Yeah, so what else is there to say? This game was incredibly... I don't think it was controversial because, well, I guess everything is controversial, but there was a lot of backlash, I think, before people played it, because they're like, this is not Resident Evil, this is some weird action game, I want my Resident Evil back. And they didn't... I don't think they understood, really, that this game has the same tension as Resident Evil, the same resource management as Resident Evil, but in a different context, in an action game context, that is really frees up your movement a lot compared to the awkward tank controls of the earlier games. Leon is a super versatile character in terms of movement. I mean, you are still using tank controls for the most part, but you're also given a lot of options like jumping and diving, and you can actually aim at the things you're shooting instead of just firing off at something that's lurking around a camera angle. So yeah, this game is totally great, and I'm playing the I'm actually playing the PC version, which came out recently. And one thing I really liked about this game is the way you build your arsenal. You make a lot of choices. You decide which elements of the weapons you want to level up. You decide which weapons you even want to use in the first place. And that's why, like, after this game came out and like the PS3 generation started, I played things like Uncharted, and they felt remarkably empty to me, because I'm like, well, how do I build my character? How do I make decisions? Like, they're beautiful games and very well designed, but I look for something a little more meaty, a little more. Oh, I'm hearing some guy coughing. It's cool like Uncharted. I just wish it was a little more demanding of, you know, decisions for me, choices, etc. And with Resident Evil, there's all kinds of little secrets, like with RE4, you can, if you combine the right things, you can extend your health bar, all kinds of fun little things like that.
Excuse me, sir?
And it kind of created the third-person action game. I mean, there were several of them before, but I think it took until 2005 to get this idea right. I mean, they took some ideas from things like Winback, but really this kind of created the whole Gears of War style shooter. Although I feel...
You might recognize a girl in this photograph.
Uh-oh.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? Lárgate, cabrón.
Sorry to have bothered you.
So let's see if I can do something cool here. I really should have prepared ahead of time. Busy morning. Oops. It is weird to not have the right trigger be shoot. The right trigger is aim, and then the X button is shoot on my controller. I'm sure I can change that. So we're gonna skip this, because Hunnigan's kind of an underused character. There's some weird sexual tension there, but I don't Okay, yeah, she shows up in RE6, but I can't remember what the hell happened in that game, so... Oh. Yep, and I'm already off to a great start. So, I like to do tactical retreats in RE4 because I'm a wimp, and enemies are slow, and for the most part, it's good to get some... That's really the best way to save your ammo, is to get forked in the head. That's another good way to do it, but... Okay. Well, there you have it. So, I wrote a big article about this on USgamer the other day, and I recommend I recommend that you check it out. I really go over what makes this game so good. But I consider this like the thinking person's action game, not that you necessarily have to be smart or savvy or refined to enjoy it. It just is a lot more demanding than you would think a game about shooting things in the face would be. Other things about this game I like are the exploration, which is limited, but it still gives you an incentive to really look around the areas, look for treasure, combine the treasures, things like that. God, so much I love about this game, and now I really want to just play through the whole damn thing again. Unfortunately, I have other things to do today, but maybe I'll just chip away at it. I did play this somewhat recently, though. I did the when the PS3 version came out. I did play through that for when I worked at 1UP, so that was a fun experience. And the game has aged surprisingly well. Maybe not so much in terms of how it looks, although it's still presentable. I remember in 2005 when it came out, I was just like, no game could possibly look better than this ever. We're done. Let's just call video games a day. Let's wrap it up. Just having some fun. And Shinji Mikami, I don't think I don't think he's really topped himself, but this game is just the result of so much time and so many restarts that I don't think anyone is afforded that kind of luxury anymore with game development these days. And he's probably incredibly lucky that he was afforded that luxury when he was developing Resident Evil. And we'll do some saving. So you do not need an ink ribbon. RE4 says, you know what? That's stupid. Save as much as you want. Go for it. We support you 1000%. So I do want to ask you guys who are watching, like, what was your relationship with Resident Evil? I feel at this point, and I make the point in my article, Resident Evil was sort of a joke. It still had its fans, but people were just kind of sick of it, and they really needed to do something new with it, and this is what they did. And I think it really redeemed the series until probably Resident Evil 6 came along and made it bad again. Although the countless spin-offs haven't helped. Oh, look, it's Okami. We're gonna help him out. Actually, this could be Huey from Haunting Ground, and I expect like 0 people to understand who that character is, but it was also in development at the time, and maybe just a little cameo. I mean, there is a gun called the Killer 7, I believe, or maybe like the Killer 9. It's a reference to Killer 7. There he goes. We'll see that guy again. So, like, really great signposting from a game design sense. Like, they show you that, but without actually harming you, they show you what you know, dangers are going to be ahead. Like, there are bear traps now, so look for those. That was just sort of like a way to show you. And like I said, that dog will come back. I also feel like with RE4, it's really easy to heap all the praise on Mikami, but I feel like he was central to everything coming together. But if you look at the talent that was associated with this game, a ton of the main people behind RE4 are now at Platinum Games, so that should tell you why Platinum is so good at what they do, especially with Bayonetta 2 this year. It was last year, God. So again, I am coming to terms with these controls. I would change them, but you guys don't want to see me go through an option screen. Another forward-thinking thing about this game is if you die, you just basically start over at a checkpoint. There's no like, oh, you have to go back to your last hard save. I'm gonna kill Ernest Hemingway on camera. The bell tolls for thee, Ernest. I hope that's an Ernest Hemingway book, For Whom the Bell Tolls. I do have an English degree. Yeah, this game was produced, I think, I don't want to say, I mean, I love Capcom games, but right before they lost a lot of their key talent, like Keiji Inafune, Mikami, Kamiya, and a lot of the other lesser-known folks. Like, I believe his name is Shibata, who's a Platinum guy now. He was like the designer for Bayonetta and Okami. Yeah, like I said, there was a reason why Platinum Games is so great. Ernest Goes to Spain. Sure, why not? Ernest Hemingway. Yeah. And by the way, let me know if my levels are okay. I don't get the same audio you guys are. I'm not getting the same audio you guys are getting. So here's a dumb joke. Oops. This game is really good with gradually like expanding the challenge you're faced with, and I feel really guilty about using a green herb this early, but maybe I'll wait until I'm really in trouble. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like, it does a really good job of escalating things, because in these early stages you are just on these narrow paths, you have a lot of room to run back, you have a lot of room to, you know, save your skin. Later, the enemies are going to be swarming from all sides, and actually really soon that's going to happen. It's sort of like the trial by fire part of this game, is, is the upcoming, church assault section, if you want to call it that. I don't know if it has an official name. Really early on, they let you know what this game is going to demand of you, and I believe there's a QTE here, maybe? Oh no. There could be a dude in here. There is. I can see him through the cracks. Let's see if we can get a, shoot him from the window. Yep. Well, another great choice is just the music they use. RE4, I'm sorry, RE as a series is not really known for its music, but and this game isn't really either. But the music being part of the threat is a really cool feature in that, like, you know you're safe if you don't hear music, but if you hear music, there are still enemies that need to be killed. And we're about to, I think this is the part where we fight everything at once. Oh, I don't need that. So yeah, they give you like 2 screens worth of worth of gameplay before they're like, nope, this is real Resident Evil 4 starts here. So they just keep saying shit. I don't know why. Mierda. And one of my old Games Journal buddies speaks Spanish, so for him it's a much different experience knowing what everyone is actually saying in this game, where the point of it is to be alienating in that there are no subtitles for this language. For the Spanish language, you're supposed to be like, I don't speak this language, therefore I have no idea what they're saying, but if you do speak Spanish, it's a much different experience. So I'm kind of like tiptoe my way through here. What I like to do is just keep running, keep running. There's some good stuff around the corner here. Just gotta keep going. And let me do, oh, maybe I can't do that now. I'm gonna turn off motion blur because it's really making me sick. There we go. Oh, okay. Now it's time to use that that healing. Leon is in no hurry to open that door. Oops. Oh god. As you can see, I'm coming to terms with these controls for the first time in a long time. It's been a while. Wow. Apologies in advance for this crappy playing. But, I'm looking for that bell tower. There we go. Apparently Leon can jump about like 30 feet. He's basically a cat. So yeah, at some point I should be killing things. Not that cow. That cow's a good guy. I know you can get a shotgun in this area, but I totally forget where it is. It's kind of annoying me. So I'm going to, I'm gonna try to corral them into one area and throw a grenade. Hopefully that'll work out for me. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. Yep, guys come from behind you now. That's a new wrinkle to this horrible problem we're experiencing. Those cows aren't gonna help you. Those cows want you to die. Ooh. You know what's strange? I guess I was just kind of passive for that because I was more worried about finding the shotgun, but I guess you can really just avoid them. Usually the chainsaw guy will come out if you kill enough of these dudes in this scene, and if you kill him, you get like a bar of gold or some really good reward. So I guess I was pretty much on the defense for that one. All right, done. Yeah, I know there's a... So we're safe now. We're going to come back to this area later in the game, and it's going to be dark and spooky. But until then, we're going to get Leon a shotgun, I believe. Oh. And I didn't show this off yet because I probably won't get a chance to in the game proper, but you can move furniture in front of doors to help protect yourself. It's like early tower defense, whatever. Bad joke. And normally I would camp out here, hide under the staircase, and take out dudes as they approached, but I neglected this house, so I apologize. I do really miss in Resident Evil, you no longer have the descriptions of things, no longer you do have the flavor text. Here we go. And actually I'm pretty sure that during that that last scene, if I would have taken the shotgun, that could be what triggers the chainsaw guy to show up. And I'll be done collecting stuff shortly. I just want to make sure that I've got some supplies. Do not care for that guy. That's how Leon just leaves every house. So, good shot, Jansen said correct. I'm guessing you mean the whole thing about the chainsaw guy. Yeah, I played this several times. It was sort of like a real Dark Souls moment when I played it originally. It took maybe like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 tries to be like, oh, this is what they want from me. And this is one thing I love about RE4. One of the many things is just like, oh, remember all those dumb keys you needed in the last games? Well, guess what? You can just kick that shit out of doors because that's what doors are there for. Just kick them down. And yeah, I do like the whole treasure aspect was really new for Resident Evil, but it works so well. I mean, it really helps you know, motivate you to explore, even though this is not as fun to watch as it is to play when you're just exploring. And like, there's so much hidden stuff. I really like just how well this game hides things, and it really incentivizes you to look around and hunt for treasure. We can't open this yet. Yeah, ooh, little popping in the distance there. I was not expecting that. I'm giving this game an F. It's weird to think that this game is 10 years old, because essentially Resident Evil was 10 years old, sorry, barely 9 years old when this remake came out. So I think we're about due for a reboot, and my bird agrees with me. If you heard him mumble okay in the background, now he's laughing. There we go. Let me look at my map. Oops. There's a... Oop, that's it. Oops. There we go. So, yep, I went the wrong way. Okay, no problem. So good shot Jansen's asking me what my thoughts are on 5, what didn't it do as well as 4. Well, I feel that it really took the whole zombies with guns idea, which was a bad idea in this game, but it was not that present, and it did an okay job of executing that idea. Not the greatest job. It took that idea too far, and then there was like cover that didn't work, and the set pieces were not as interesting. The gameplay wasn't as varied. The settings weren't as varied. I did not like the weapon upgrade system as much. There's a lot of problems with RE5, but 6 is just the worst. And I feel qualified to say that because I beat the damn thing. Man, all these swears are popping out of my mouth. I apologize. This is a salty live stream. Okay, we're good. We're moving on. Internet Technique says the cult has a very new metal album art sort of logo. I agree. I was kind of thinking the same thing, actually. Good observation. Another thing I like about RE4 are these neat little treasure hunts that the merchant sends you on. Basically shoot all these jewels, you'll get a cool weapon. I'm not going to do that for this little playthrough. This is more just showing off the mechanics and stuff. I'm going to save though. Six was a... Nick Naylor says 6 was miserable. Yeah. That's a good term for it. What I don't like is like it's okay for a game to be bad, but a game being bad on that scale just makes me sad because I'm thinking like, oh, think of all the cool Capcom games they could have made with just a fraction of that money that will never be made because they spent several billion on Resident Evil. And I'm gonna do a little pro tip for you there if you ever want to get that item. You don't want to knock it into the poop water. Bad news all around. If you guys will hang tight for 1 second, I got to attend to something really quick. Okay, sorry about that, I am back. My bird is out, and sometimes he wants to walk around on the ground, and he needs to be supervised because he can just bite a hell of a lot of things. So, hopefully he won't be as rambunctious as he's been today. Yep, you can pick up eggs, including the coveted golden egg. Yeah, there's a real Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe to this that, excuse me, that, I think is, I mean, this game draws from a lot of inspirations, but I do like how this atmosphere is pulled off in this section of the game. A cameo from Bob's Bird, well, you might have heard him in the background. He is heading towards the floor again, so I might have to put him away for this live stream, actually. He's normally good, he normally actually falls asleep while live streaming, but now he wants to be part of the show. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna have to put him away. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so many animal disruptions today, but we are moving on with our lives. Yeah, Ninja Mick WZ. Oh, let me just fix that. The levels do strike me as these like really neat playgrounds where you can play around in them and figure out the best way to approach enemies and the best weapons to use and the best, you know, tactics. And I get the same vibe from Metal Gear Solid 5 actually, which is a much different game, but there's still this emphasis on like here's a big open area full of enemies, figure out what to do with them. I choose the one bullet, then follow that up with a kick, usually. This guy and his twin brother are in trouble, I gotta say that. That always happens to me. Yeah, a good thing to do is to stun enemies when they're in a group, or stun one of them, and then your kick will get them all. It's a great way to save ammo in this game. It does make you play a little meticulously, and some people may not like that, but I forget how to do a suplex, actually. I would like to do a suplex. And you can shoot them when they're down. So please, guys, ask some questions. Let's get some comments and stuff in the chat room. How do you feel about RE4? Do you like 5? Do you like 6? Do you like Shinji Mikami's games? Is this a... I really don't remember this guy. This wolf. He seems to be confused. This is not an enemy, I just don't remember him. Okay. Let me know if you remember that dog. Alright, I know where I'm going. Yeah, 5 is fun co-op, I'll give you that. That's just because it's so... some of the ideas are so stupid that you need someone there to laugh with you. The co-op thing, as I know that's Resident Evil's focus these days, it does really cut down on the loneliness of the setting. It's great, like, you feel such relief when you have Ashley, even though she's kind of helpless. It's just good to have another person with you, even if she is a fictional construct. But, yeah, I do miss just being alone and that feeling of vulnerability, that everything is on you, there's no banter, there's no help. I honestly don't know what the future of Resident Evil should be. I'm being asked that in the chat, by the way. Like, if you would have asked me in 2004 or 2005, I would have been like, I don't know, and never would have thought they'd make a game like this in a million years. Which I think is why it was so surprising. No one expected this direction for the game. And I'm gonna get into some more fights. Yes, this is basically, well, yeah. Sleepaway Champ says this village is any given location in rural Ohio. Yes, yeah, having grown up in Ohio, I can tell you that there's some spooky places. All right, I'm sorry. I did want to do a little exploring. Okay, now this is like the first official QTE of all time. Not really. I mean, Shenmue did it, but this is the Resident Evil QTE, and they're pretty tough. They don't give you a lot of room to screw up, and yeah, here we go. So I'm smashing X as much as I can. Smashing. Oh, okay, that was close. Alright, yeah, I'm using an Xbox controller, so I'm not as familiar with the, where all the buttons are. Just because I'm brainwashed by the Nintendo format, which is the opposite. Honestly, for Resident Evil Reboot, if they were to just remake RE4 at the level of visual fidelity of a modern game, with a few tweaks to the controls, I'd be like, yeah, do that. That's fine. I will support you in this endeavor. So now we get our first dynamite guy, and a good idea is to stun him, and so that happens. Yeah. Dynamite will screw you up. And I just heard some. Yep. Dynamite will screw the living poop out of you. I think it's this guy. Yep. I'm kind of a crack shot. And then there's these weird spiders that I don't quite understand. That actually scared me. Nice job, Resident Evil. But guess what? Oops. It is really, there we go. And in doing that, I also got rid of, a trap that's might screw me up later, down the way. These levels are really big too, like, they're labeled like traditional video game levels like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, but, yeah, I don't quite get these spiders. I don't quite understand why they're in the game. They don't... I mean, they're creepy, I'll give you that. But they don't have much to do with Umbrella or whatever. Now, the game really ups the amount of traps here. You've got bear traps, you've got dynamite traps, you've got people who throw dynamite. Oh, speaking of the devil. I thought I was looking down. Okay. Really, that thing would just probably snap Leon's femur in half and he'd be down. Enemy placement in this game is pretty much perfect, I think. Oh. Did not care for that much. Let's remedy this. You know, I hate using health spray, so let's eat an egg. It's amazing the amount of nutrition a a single raw egg will give you. They are superfood. And I think just upon playing this again, I think the inherent tension of Resident Evil of not being able to see things properly is also built into this game or baked in or whatever, because like your camera is locked to Leon's back. You can't move it freely. I guess you can. You can't. Oh, well, there goes my argument is gone. Now I'm forever ruined for the internet. I'm sorry, folks. But I don't think you're using the right stick a lot when you're moving around. And again, even in a setting as limited as this, I mean, it's not limited, it's just a single setting. The game does a lot to play with it. You go in and out of houses, in and out of caves. They're really interested in making the experience super varied, doing a lot with their setting, doing a lot with what you can do with just like the idea of like village. Like, what could you do in a village? And let's see if we can knife this door open. Oh, yep, that works. Particle effects aren't the best in this game. They haven't aged that well. It just feels like I'm walking through a plane of like dust. And we're gonna hit the end of 1-1, and that's not the end of this live stream, by the way. I've still got about 20 minutes left, so hang in there, folks. The oldest trick in the book. Oops. You could tell I should have practiced this right. I'm gonna chow down on that egg. So the ominous knocking, you're like, what is that? What's going on? Is this an enemy? Is this some new horrible creature that is going to spring out of nowhere? But it's actually a buddy. It's actually one of your few friends in this game. And this game is essentially Leonardo DiCaprio and Johnny Depp on a fun adventure, in case you couldn't tell. So we're going to skip this cutscene. Not too bad. So is there an American studio I'd like to work on an RE game? Asks Kent Dog, and I can't answer that right now. Okay, we're going to start this.
Now.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Mikami uses QTEs in this game. I mean, I know they've become the worst thing ever. I think they were originally intended to, like, you usually passively watch cutscenes, but now he sort of makes you pay attention because you might get a prompt that will save your life. You might get a prompt that will help you out. There's that guy.
Over here, stranger.
And I think that was the kind of the point of QTEs. I think Mikami is always trying to surprise you. Like, I feel like surprise is his main element in his games. Just changing things that you would expect in drastic ways, like let's say the Crimson Heads from Resident Evil remake, or like even in the first Resident Evil when you go back to the mansion and it's suddenly full of these horrible lizard things that can lop your head off. That's a surprise.
Got something that might interest you.
I guess you had to be there.
Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger.
Okay. I don't know what his deal is.
Buying?
I do know everyone can imitate this voice that's ever played a video game, though.
Is that all, stranger? Thank you.
The game does put a cap on how far you could advance your weapons. I guess it just assumes that you're not going to have like enough to upgrade the handgun as much as you would want to this early on, and that's fine. But you're still given choices like handgun, shotgun. Do I want to upgrade this? Do I want to upgrade that? Do I don't want to upgrade this? There's so many choices to make, which is why I like this game. You have to really think about what you're doing, and occasionally play
What are you buying?
Inventory Tetris, as we call it.
What are you buying? Is that all, stranger? Thank you.
I think the merchant is a famous character or a popular character because there was so much mystery to him. You're like, who is this weirdo?
Is that all? Thank you.
Why is everything so funny, dude? This is a really fun set piece coming up. I really like it. It is like basically the game's introducing you to like this is. I mean, some of the earlier scenes had this focus too, but this is like here is what RE4 is going to become. These really elaborate set pieces, these really elaborate stages, with many ladders, many kinds of verticality, just lots of things to do, lots of places to hide, lots of strategies to employ, lots of enemies to kill too. Kentog says the next RE should have Puyo Puyo inventory management. I agree. That would be so much. That everything would just be one or like a rectangle, right? Ninja McWiz says I want a solo RE4 merchant game. That'd be great. It'd be like Taloon or Torneco or whatever. And I might be a little quiet during this part because I want to play a little better than I did with the last one. This is by no means a contest or a display of my skill. That's just what you gotta do. And RE4 is not afraid to be video gamey either. Oh, jeez. Note the big treasure chest. I think the game gives you a break in that case because if you kill a dynamite guy while he's holding the dynamite, it only blows him up. So thanks RE. Okay, so we're gonna sneak around here. We have the quick turn, which is great. You know, I might as well show off the shotgun because, why not? It's great for crowd control, it's great if a lot of guys are coming up on you. It's great if you're bad at Resident Evil. One thing RE does not have at this point is, which I think has maybe aged the game a bit, is the fact that you have to jump into your menu for everything, which can get pretty ridiculous if you're just jumping into the menu, selecting a grenade, and then jumping out. I'm not a fan of that very much. But, alright, let's just do this. What you don't know about Leon is he can freeze time Zach Morris style and just, you know, sort through his crap. Yeah, this game does have dynamic difficulty. It knows what's in your inventory, and it kind of makes you play as if, you know, oh, I'm about to run out of this, but at the last moment it'll give you a little more of the the thing you need. I also find that bottlenecking works really good in this game as long as you don't get overwhelmed. Just, if everyone has to approach you through one doorway, like that, ooh. You know, I hear dynamite. Don't know where it is. Oh, that'll happen. Remember, if someone's aiming at your face, just gently put your hands in front of it as you approach them. Just a safety tip. So I feel like I'm gonna kind of get into the groove here with RE4. This guy's head is surprisingly strong. Let's switch back to our pistol. One thing you can do is load it in the menu. Oh, I guess you can't. Probably just in the old games you could do that. And that guy should fall. If you ever played the Wii version, it's pretty good. It makes the game really easy though, because you have such control over your aiming in the Wii version because you're just using the Wiimote, and it feels really good, but the game is meant to for Leon to be a little shaky with his if you see his hands moving. It's not supposed to be perfect because you're supposed to still feel a little disempowered. Like this guy. Let's see if I can do it. Oops, I think I have to go from behind. Maybe I'll try it once I'm a little less overwhelmed. Yeah, it's not run and gun. Kent Dog is like, are there any other action games with such a slow, deliberate pace? That's what I think makes this game interesting, and that's what I think people are afraid to make RE like this again, because it is such a deliberate and meticulous game. Like I said, thinking person's action game. It's all about finding the right spot, getting there, and controlling the crowd, not getting overwhelmed, etc. And a lot of people took issue with the fact that Leon can't run and shoot at the same time, like any regular dude would be able to, but I feel like that limitation is built into the game. It's what makes the game interesting, because you're not that overpowered. That makes sense. I don't know why I keep hearing music. Who is alive? Oh, this dude. Well, happy birthday. Let me light that candle. Ninja McWiz has a quote. It says, "I didn't buy a $500 next-gen system to think." Obviously facetious. I do appreciate that. That's silly. Yeah, like I do encourage all of you guys to read my piece on USgamer.net. It is just like, let me lay out for you why RE4 is good. And I wish I had the time and the resources to just like write like a 10,000 word essay just going to every level, talking about game design choices as I'm talking about now. And being less rambly in general, being more organized, not just pointing things out as I see them. I'm gonna pick up a few treasures here. This game made its way to a surprising amount of platforms. I believe I mean, it started as a GameCube game. I mean, like, think about that for a second. That's still kind of incredible. Imagine if RE7 was Wii U exclusive. I mean, that will never happen, obviously, but it's just as incredible that that's the choice that was made. I'm sure money changed hands, of course. But it eventually found its way to PS2, and I believe, I mean, PC obviously, then PS3, 360. It's on everything. There's a terrible iOS version of the game that's like essentially a shooting gallery, I think. The hardest puzzles known to man. It's like Professor Layton up in here. Come on. I believe we're gonna meet our first Chainsaw Charlie, whatever his name is. Maybe not. I could be a little confused here. Nope, we're gonna go ahead to this indoor section. We're not gonna see any chainsaw guys this time. Really good sound design. I don't know how loud the sound is for you guys, but just all you hear is this whistling wind, occasional like animal noises in the distance. I would like to see them try to make this game on the Dreamcast. One of our chatters is asking about, I want to see this Dreamcast version. They should make a Dreamcast version. The PS2 one looks surprisingly good. I mean, from what I've heard, the lighting on this game is only as it was intended on the GameCube, because the GameCube has the GameCube's hardware, it's hard to say this, but the game was built around things the GameCube could do with lighting, which are not impressive today, but they're very specific to that hardware, so I feel like that is probably the most authentic version of this game you can play. CSDE War also says, remember that RE Code Veronica was a Dreamcast exclusive for about a year. That's true. It came out roughly 6 months before the end times. It's that guy. Another very non-Resident Evil thing is the fact that enemies can follow you from room to room, which in past Resident Evils you're always saved by the fact that pre-rendered Jesus, Leon. Pre-rendered assets could save you from zombies, because how's a zombie going to how is a zombie going to open a pre-rendered door? It's not. Jeez. I don't like this Axeman. Good. I'm just confused about this guy. There you go. I do like how they even thought as far as like how the door can cause damage if you kick it open the right way. A lot of really good choices in this game. That's where I came from? Okay. So this live stream is going to end pretty soon, guys, in maybe 5 minutes, so just let me know if you have any questions about RE4, if you want to talk about anything RE4 related. I consider myself a big fan of this game. I really would like to play through it again sometime. It's a pretty long game, though, for what it is. It's a, I don't know, 25 hour game? So now we see there's some rudimentary cover in this game, which is pretty weird, actually. Oh, yeah. So Ninja McWiz is asking me if I'm planning on playing through more for another stream, and you know, I might do it for Retronauts. Streams are always a good excuse to play things if you don't have time. You're like, oh, I'm streaming it, it's work, so, or it's part of my brand. I gotta keep that brand flowing. Oh. I really forgot about bear traps being indoors. Jeez. Since I'm on death's door, I might as well bring out the big guns. We're safe. So yeah, just to wrap up here while I slash open boxes and whatnot, I've been Bob Mackey. I will continue to be Bob Mackey. Don't think otherwise. But I'm doing this for USgamer.net, and if you don't go there to read our cool stuff, you really should, because I like good games, and I like to talk about them and write about them. And yeah, go USgamer.net, check out our Twitter page, all that good stuff, YouTube, Facebook, you know the deal, right? My bird is giving kisses in the background, so I think he's I think he's saying yes, you should like US Gamer. In fact, you should give it kisses. So yeah, guys, have a good rest of the day. I'm gonna take off and work on a few other things, but yeah, enjoy your day, and I'm glad you like the stream. Take it easy, everybody.